Hi, I'm Gabriel Dirksen, and this is my project on People First Language. Introduction. The People First language is keeping the person first and not their disability. So when we think about people with disabilities, that we acknowledge who they are as a person first, not the disability that limits them. People with disabilities constitute our largest minority group. 1 in 5 Americans have a disability. That kind of statistics shock me. It's more popular than you think. Many people with disabilities go to school, go to work, get married, have children, and excel in society like everyone else. It is important to remember that the preference can vary. Just like some teachers like to be called Mr. or Mrs., or a doctor if they have their doctorate, or some of my school teachers when I grew up didn't even want to be called Mr. or Mrs. at all, and they preferred to use their first name. So it is important that we keep each case it differs in each case from person to person, so we take each step and ask people first how they like to be addressed. People first language. People first language is used to communicate appropriately and respectfully with and about an individual with a disability. People first language emphasizes the person first, not the disability. Happening in our school. So some things I've heard and probably have been guilty with myself is they can't do this. They are in special education. So limiting students that have an IEP or some other learning disability. We can't do this because they are in a wheelchair. So, I mean, like could be said, like on field trips or something, and so limiting what we can do just because one student and not thinking about adaptations and things that we could do to make it possible. They are too dumb. I dread teaching this student because they always disrupt my class. So avoiding tackling that one student that's disruptive head on, except instead of thinking some accommodations that could help that student succeed in the classroom. Phrases to use. Phrases to use. People with disabilities, instead of saying the handicapped or disabled, or saying he has a cognitive disability or cognitive diagnosis, instead of saying he is mentally retarded. She has autism, instead of saying she's autistic. He uses a wheelchair or mobility chair. He is confined to a wheelchair. She receives special ed services. Children without disabilities, instead of saying a normal or healthy kid. So all of those cases of phrases to use keep the person first. Always notice the person is first, then the disability. She has autism. He uses a wheelchair. So in conclusion, make sure when we are referring to a people first language that we will always define the person first, because it's the person that makes them up, not their disability. Their disability does not define students in our school. So here are references that help me complete this assignment, and thank you for watching. I hope you learned something.